like clothes.
Have you ever stopped and wondered why you're wearing clothes right now?
Not what you're wearing. Why you're wearing them at all? Because for almost the entire history of life on Earth, animals survive perfectly well without shirts, jackets, jeans, or shoes.
Lions don't need them.
Wolves don't need them.
Even chimpanzees, our closest relatives, have somehow managed to avoid inventing pants.
And yet humans became so attached to clothing that entire industries,
Religions,
laws,
and social hierarchies grew around it.
today, being naked in public can get you arrested. That is a very strange outcome for a species that once lived completely unclothed. So what happened? Why did ancient humans start wearing clothes? And why might the answer have less to do with temperature than you think?
Let's go back.
Way back?
Imagine you're standing on the African savannah, 150
0 years ago?
no cities,
No money.
no mirrors, no fashion brands.
Just a small group of humans trying to survive another day.
The traditional explanation is simple.
Humans got cold. Humans made clothes.
Problem solved, except the timeline doesn't quite fit.
Evidence suggests humans began wearing clothing long before large migrations into extremely cold environments. That creates a problem.
If people weren't freezing yet,
Why were they covering themselves? The answer may begin with one of the most disgusting creatures in human history.
Lice.
Yes?
Lice.
Scientists discovered that body lice evolved from head lice sometime between roughly 80.
0, 0, 0, and 170. 0 years ago. That matters because body lice can only survive inside clothing. No clothes. No body lice.
Which means the parasites accidentally left behind one of the earliest clues that humans had started dressing regularly. For perhaps the first time in history,
Lace became useful. But here's where things get strange. If clothing appeared before extreme cold became a major problem, then warmth probably wasn't the original reason. Something else was happening. Something deeply human. Humans are unusual animals, not because we're intelligent. Many animals are intelligent. Not because we're social. Many animals are social. Humans are unusual because we constantly signal information about ourselves.
who we are, what group we belong to, who has status, who doesn't, who should be trusted, who should be feared.
Long before social media existed, humans were already broadcasting identity. Archaeologists have found evidence that ancient humans used pigments like red ochre for body decoration more than 200 0 years ago.
Think about that.
Before written language, before cities, before agriculture.
People were already decorating themselves.
Why? Because humans don't just want to survive.
Humans want to be seen.
That impulse may be older than civilization itself. And once people began covering their bodies with animal hides,
A new possibility emerged.
the hide wasn't just protection anymore.
It became information.
Maybe this animal was difficult to hunt.
Maybe wearing its skin signaled strength. Maybe it signaled experience. Maybe it signaled status.
Suddenly, clothing wasn't solving a physical problem.
It was solving a social one.
And your brain is still doing exactly the same thing today. Think about it.
A luxury watch doesn't tell time better than a cheap one.
Designer shoes don't help you walk faster. Many modern fashion choices make very little practical sense, but they communicate something.
They tell a story.
Humans evolved into creatures that read social signals constantly, and clothing became one of the loudest signals available. But then climate changed everything. Around 120,
000 to 70.
0 years ago, Earth entered periods of severe environmental instability. Temperatures dropped, landscapes changed, resources became unpredictable. Some scientists believe the human population may have fallen dramatically. At one point, our species may have come surprisingly close to disappearing altogether. And now clothing mattered for a different reason.
Survival. Groups moving into colder regions needed protection.
Not symbolic protection, real protection.
The kind that keeps you alive at night. The kind that prevents your body heat from escaping into freezing air. This is where another incredible invention appears. The needle.
Around 0 years ago, humans began creating sophisticated bone needles capable of sewing fitted garments.
That sounds ordinary today.
It's not. To create a needle, someone had to imagine a tool that didn't exist yet,
Shape it.
refine it,
Punch a tiny hole through it.
and use it to transform loose animal hides into engineered clothing. That's not instinct.
That's design.
That's planning.
But that's imagination. And it changed everything. Without fitted clothing,
Many environments on Earth would have remained inaccessible. Humans didn't simply adapt to the world.
we built a second skin and carried it with us.
But perhaps the strangest part of the story comes afterward.
Because once clothing solved the survival problem,
Humans immediately turned it into something else, meaning
every civilization did it.
kings dressed differently from farmers,
Priests dressed differently from warriors.
ceremonies required special clothing, mourning required special clothing, status required special clothing, even colors began carrying social meaning. A piece of fabric was no longer just fabric.
It became identity. And that's the truly weird thing. No other animal does this.
A wolf doesn't wonder if its fur makes it look successful.
A deer doesn't worry about social status.
Humans do.
Constantly, we build stories around objects.
We attach meaning to material things.
We create symbols and then live inside those symbols. Clothing is one of the oldest examples, which brings us back to today.
Most mornings, getting dressed feels trivial, automatic.
You barely think about it.
But hidden inside that routine is a behavior stretching back more than 100,000 years. A behavior that connects you directly to ancient humans standing around fires on the African savanna. They wanted protection.
They wanted belonging. They wanted identity.
You still do. The brands change. The materials changed. The world changed. The psychology didn't. Maybe that's the real story of clothing.
It was never just about staying warm. It was about becoming human. And perhaps that's what makes modern life so strange. We think we're different from our ancestors.
More advanced, more rational, more sophisticated.
But every morning,
Before we step into the world, we perform one of the oldest rituals in human history.
we get dressed.
And in doing so,
We tell the world who we think we are.
your brain remembers more than you think.
If you had lived 150,
0 years ago.
what kind of animal hide do you think you would have worn? Let me know in the comments.
And if you enjoy exploring the strange psychology of ancient humans and the hidden instincts still shaping modern life,
Subscribe to Primitive Mind.
see you in the next one.